Hi guys, I am back with another Doctor Who review, and today we're going to be reviewing the Empress of Mars. Oh wait, no, I think Doctor Who have changed the title of that to Empress of Mars, not the Empress of Mars. That's weird though. I mean, I've been calling this episode the wrong title all along. I've been calling it the Empress of Mars. Did you think the Empress of Mars has a much better title than Empress of Mars? I mean, it's only just a 3-word difference without the word "the" in it and stuff, but I don't know why they changed the title to Empress of Mars instead of the Empress of Mars. I rather prefer it the Empress of Mars, personally. Anyway, I hope you enjoy my review on the Empress of Mars, and I can tell you it's going to be another great review, so sit back and enjoy. Hi guys, what's up? I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my review on the Empress of Mars. Wow, we are 9 episodes into Doctor Who, and Series 10 is growing and growing and growing to become one of the best series in my opinion for me. And for this episode, written by Mark Gatiss, the writer of Sleep No More, and there was actually a little reference to Sleep No More within the Empress of Mars, which I actually quite liked. And wow, from a hit and miss writer like Mark Gatiss, which many people obviously criticise him of his greatness and his great story writing, but wow, Mark Gatiss has really impressed me. Like, genuinely really impressed me. This episode was awesome. Like, honestly, it could even be my favourite episode of the series so far. Up there with Oxygen. But wow, this episode was so brilliantly written. I think Mark Gatiss surprisingly did an outstanding job, in my opinion. And mentioning about Mark Gatiss, I wouldn't usually say that, but he did amazing. The Ice Warriors were brilliant. I even liked the supporting characters, the soldiers. They were really, really well built up, especially that one arsehole called Catchlove, and I thought the Colonel was really, really good as well. The Doctor was really good as always, and my gosh, he didn't even know what Terminator and The Thing was, but he did know what Frozen was, which I actually quite liked the movie referencing in this episode. I thought it was a neat touch. But wow, I have to say big, massive congratulations to Mark Gatiss with this episode, because I loved this episode. I had really great expectations for this episode, and my word, did this episode deliver? Oh yes it did. This episode was truly unbelievable in my opinion. The writing was just brilliant. When I first saw the episode for like the first scene where it was like the little building of NASA, I thought to myself that looks like a very poor done CGI work, and obviously I know it looks very, very weak CGI. However, I loved how the introduction scene, the pre-title scene, I loved it how it had that God Save the Queen, and it made me feel that this episode is a very British episode, and I really, really like it how this episode has taken a more British approach, because you've got the British tea, teacups, and having jam and tea and stuff like that. You have God Save the Queen, you have a portrait of Queen Victoria, and surprisingly enough, they didn't have a portrait of Queen Victoria in the ITV show called Victoria, which I have on DVD. And yeah, one character who I remembered from that show called Victoria with Jenna Coleman in it, one character that I remember, the actor who played Catchlove, he also appeared in Victoria as well, and I really recognised him from Victoria, and I really liked him in this episode. I thought his character was a bit of an arsehole, a bit of a prick, because he was trying to commit war with the Ice Warriors, but his actor with the character was the perfect match for him. The character was really, really superb. I liked his optimism. I thought he was quite stubborn. He was very tight, and he really got overreacted so much when it comes to name calling, like primitives, the pink thing. He was really sort of that kind of a brute that you don't really want to get on his angry side at all. And he feels like he wants to take command. He's always that greedy person who's destined for glory, destined to be the commander of, you know, the group. And I thought his character was amazing. I think he did an absolutely outstanding job. I'm really glad how Gatiss included this episode with character backstories, like with the Colonel, of how he got caught for desertion and he was, you know, set to be hung and executed for desertion of his country, deserting from his post and stuff. I thought that was a really nice thing to add. I'm really glad Gatiss added some backstories to these characters, because these characters of the Victorian soldiers were really relatable. Like, if it was just an ordinary expedition team just doing some random discoveries on Mars, if an expedition team was just there, they'll just be there just to basically just destroy or probably steal most of their gems and gold and stuff like that, but they wouldn't get any war and stuff. So I'm glad it's the Victorian soldiers, and I really liked the little reference for, as I mentioned, for Sleep No More. But then there was also at the end, I think it was near to the end, I think, where there was a reference for classic Who fans of Alpha Centauri. Wow, from the Curse of Peladon and the Monster of Peladon. Oh my gosh, I was saying, holy crap, no way. And I did not expect that. I don't think anybody was expecting that, but wow. Alpha Centauri from the Curse of Peladon and the Monster of Peladon. Wow. Curse of Peladon is well loved by many people. Monster of Peladon, not so much, but Curse of Peladon, no. Oh my gosh, many people absolutely love Curse of Peladon, and that voice really reminded me of, like, oh wait, I've heard of this voice before. It can't be Queen Victoria, can it? No, it can't be. And then when I saw Alpha Centauri in just a single line, like, oh my gosh, it's it. No way. Alpha Centauri from the Curse of Peladon. Holy crap. Wow, it's a fantastic cameo for all classic Who fans, and I'm just really happy that Gatiss had put that in there, because it was just amazing from that reaction that many fans, especially the classic series, many people were so amazed about Alpha Centauri just appearing as a short little cameo in this episode. I absolutely loved that. So many bits I loved about this episode, and that's why I think it's almost like my top favourite episode, up there with Oxygen. It's so brilliant, this episode. I can't really fault it. And one thing I was mentioning about in my preview, I hope the direction is oh so brilliant. Wayne Yip, I don't know what happened to you when you did Live the Land, but now you doing the Empress of Mars, the direction, you know, was brilliant. Wow, I have to say the direction was just oh so fantastic. It was just amazing that from a disastrous Live the Land direction, though, to the Empress of Mars. Wayne Yip. I have to say, Wayne Yip, you've done an amazing job on the Empress of Mars. I have to say, brilliant work. He did a much better job, and I really liked his direction though, going conflict with the humans and the Ice Warriors, and especially the Ice Warriors. I have to mention about them in this episode, obviously, but the Ice Warriors were just so amazing though. I really liked how one Ice Warrior was called Friday, and one thing that would be really fantastic if all of the Ice Warriors that appeared were called all of the days of the week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday. I would just absolutely love that. Oh wow. I mean, if they actually named all of the Ice Warriors all of the days of the week, that would be hilarious. But speaking of it as called Friday, it was a bit odd on me of why it was called Friday. But I think it would be much of an easy name to call it Friday than any other Martian name. But I really like Friday as a name. You know, you never know. I might call my child Friday or Thursday. No, I'm only kidding, guys. I'm only kidding. Oh, but yeah, the Ice Warriors were really great. I think they were better in this episode than in Cold War. Unfortunately, there was only one Ice Warrior in Cold War, but there were many Ice Warriors in this, and I thought the killing for the Ice Warriors in this episode was really, really unique. Apart from like the killing scenes like in the classic series with the Ice Warriors, basically they have like a sonic stun gun that basically just, they've done some graphic effects in the classic series which I can't really replicate, but it's like all of your insides go, you know, are compressed into one little bit. But it's almost the same thing with this. It's basically like you get compressed into one big massive ball, like everything in your arms gets completely compressed into one entire ball. And I think that's a really clever way of killing people, instead of just a normal stun gun and then basically they fall to the floor. I really like it how they completely compress the soldiers into big massive bowling balls. I really like that. Unfortunately, many people would have been criticising on whether they look like big humongous big balls and stuff, but I think it's a clever way of killing them off. Instead of just a normal sonic stun gun that'll basically just stun them a bit and then they fall to the ground and obviously you expect them to be dead, I really like how they're completely compressed because it's something new and it's something unique, and I really like that. Overall, I thought that the storyline was really, really strong. I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of Doctor Who The Silurians. I really got that sense of vibe from it. And also another story that I got a vibe from the classic series was Tomb of the Cybermen, where the female Ice Warrior was rising from her tomb, and also the Ice Warriors awakening from their sleep in the hive. I really got a sense of Tomb of the Cybermen in that sense. But I think the Ice Warrior, the female Ice Warrior, the Empress, the Queen, was really, really good. She was cool. She was amazing. I know many people might criticise on her voice that she might sound a bit cheesy. However, I thought she was overly fantastic. And one thing that I absolutely adored was that when the Ice Warrior was talking to the noisy males with the Doctor and also the Victorian soldiers, I liked how she gave Bill an opportunity to value her opinion, like woman to woman. I really liked that. I really like how the Ice Warrior was really nice to Bill in like a feminine kind of side, respecting to women and women, and the Ice Warrior, the female Ice Warrior, is just surrounded by noisy males. I'm really glad that she valued Bill's opinion. I really like that because it really makes us think that we're surrounded by noisy males and just the women, they just get no opinion out of it whatsoever. So I'm really glad that Mark Gatiss has added that in there as well. That kind of feminine side of woman to woman, and Bill's opinion is valued for the Empress, and I really like that. I thought that was really, really good. The Doctor was really amazing though, I have to say. With him, you can trust him to get on any side of the humans or the Ice Warriors. He's overall generally amazing. I mean, the Doctor is becoming really, really good. I'm absolutely so sad that he's going this series, because his acting is way better than what I've seen in previous series. Like, he's had a brilliant, consistent role as the Doctor. He's been oh so fantastic within this series, and I think his character is growing so strong as the series progresses, and he's becoming much a better Doctor in my opinion. Oh, and this is the reason why I love him. This is the reason why he's my favourite Doctor. I think Peter Capaldi is doing an exceptional job as the Doctor. I just wish this wasn't his final series, because we've only got about 4 episodes left of him now, and that's it. And oh, I don't want him to go. We've only got 4 episodes left. And that's like the Eaters of Light, the finale, then we have the Christmas special. Oh, 4 episodes left with Peter Capaldi. Well, let's hope that they are the best episodes of Peter Capaldi's era for me. I just really hope so, because this is one of them. Oh, his first encounter with the Ice Warriors for his Doctor was a gem to watch for this episode. The storyline was amazing. Reminded me of Doctor Who and the Silurians. It was merely much that the Victorian soldiers found Friday's spaceship and it was apparently damaged, and so the humans decided to repair Friday's spaceship. In return, that they got a trip up to Mars to see if they can find any gemstones or gold or silver for any of their possessions for valuableness. And the way that they made Friday their slave, I thought it was nice on the occasion hand, but I think it was more to the point where the Ice Warriors were just using the humans all along just to see if the Ice Warrior Friday can find the tomb to find his queen, his empress, and I really liked that Arthrider because he was very mysterious in my sense. Although he was doing most of the washing up, he felt he was old and tired and spent, but he was there on a mission and an aim to find his empress, and I really liked how he was just using the humans just to get, you know, the aim achieved to finding the empress, and just reviving, you know, the empress was just amazing. That one person trying to steal the gemstones from her tomb, and then when one gemstone was removed, and then all of the, you know, the gold kind of to filtered away and stuff like that, and then she was revived in that sense and grabbed the person, and she completely killed them, I suspect. I don't think we saw that little part, but there was one little character, and this was from the Victorian soldiers little group. There was one character in there who I really liked. I really liked that mixed race guy in this episode as well. I'm really glad that Gatiss also gave that person a bit of backstory, because I felt a bit sorry for him when he was just thrown into, you know, to be caught by the blast from the Ice Warrior, just because Catchlove just threw him in there just to be sacrificed and stuff. I actually felt sorry for the mixed race person because I didn't think he had to die, because it just felt a bit horrible though. But I think Catchlove definitely deserved to die because he acted as a very much stubborn prick in my opinion. Sorry if I'm swearing, but it's generally the truth. I mean, Catchlove is a really brilliant character. He's uptight, he's a brute, he's optimistic, and I feel like he's such of a stuck-up prick in my opinion. He wants all the glory, and he wants everything done for his British Empire, and all of the glory and greatness is his all along, and he wants to be in command all the time, stealing the colonel's lines and stuff like that. And I think that's very personal of him, that he wants to be the commander of this group, but then they throw themselves into it that they have no idea on how to defeat the Ice Warriors. The Ice Warriors are an advanced race with so much brilliant technology. You think that the humans will be able to destroy them off, and then he was thinking so cocky of when, oh yeah, there's just only 2 of them, we'll be able to defeat them, and then the doctor said, no, there'll be more, you idiots. I really like that. He thought he was so cocky when I think the British Army can do more than much for upright crocodiles. I really liked how he was getting so cocky, but then when it actually came to the real thing, he was really panicking. He was really scared. But he as a character was really amazing, because when you think about Catchlove as a character in that sense, taking all of the command, and he's being uptight to his colonel, and Catchlove knowing the truth from knowing that the colonel was hanged for was almost postponed to be hanged for desertion and stuff, and how Catchlove knew that about the colonel, and he kept it a secret until he revealed it when the colonel didn't fit too well to serve and command and stuff, and so he took matters into his own hands of showing the embarrassment of his colonel and stuff. I actually liked that of him because it showed he had a bit more power than the colonel, unfortunately. The colonel, in my opinion though, I think he is a really great character. I really liked the end when the female Ice Warrior gave him the option to live for like until he dies in the battle. In like any sort of battle whatsoever, it's probably the best way of dying for a soldier like him, because the female Ice Warrior referenced that it's the best way to die as a warrior. And if you think about soldiers, they're potentially warriors in that sense. And so I really liked how the Ice Warrior saw the consent for the colonel to be sacrificed or to be, you know, killed because he lived too long and he's been a cowardice for all his life, and he's expected to die with bravery and honor in his heart. And so I thought it was a really nice ending. And then when she revealed that not today, you will die in battle, it's the best way of dying as a warrior, I really like that, because if you think about soldiers, that wouldn't reference to a normal expedition team at all if they were in this story. I really liked how it was just the Victorian soldiers, because it really related to them of the way of a warrior dies in battle. I really liked that, with honor and bravery. I really connected to the British Army and really much to a soldier kind of warrior kind of sense. And I really liked how this episode took a more British approach. It was really amazing. I think this episode overall is just, oh my word, I can't really describe much more than this episode is just truly amazing. And we also saw a little teaser from Missy. And there was the scene where Nardole was in the TARDIS, and then suddenly, out of the blue, and the TARDIS dematerialised on its own without Nardole pulling any controls whatsoever. It moved by itself. So does that mean there's an invisible madman on board the TARDIS? Or is it John Sims' master in disguise? Could it be an invisible John Sims? Oh my gosh, there's so many possibilities what it could be, but wow. The TARDIS moving it by itself with no Nardole whatsoever, and just the TARDIS dematerialising back to the university. And then when Nardole figured out he couldn't really do anything, he had to go to the vault and ask Missy for help. And then when the Doctor went into the TARDIS at the end, he saw Missy and was like, this can't be. You know you're not allowed to leave the vault. And then even at the end, for a split second, Missy was just like, are you alright? And then both of them were just looking at each other like, what's going on here? I mean, it's not something for me, but it's just a little teaser, I think, for probably the finale. I think there's definitely more to go on, and I think definitely Missy will be in the finale. And if John Sims doesn't appear for the Eaters of Light, then I highly think that John Sims will appear for the finale with the Mondasian Simon, I personally think. But with that invisible madman, it's so many possibilities of what it could be. It could be John Sims' master in disguise. And what's the whole plot with Missy now? Since Missy's now out of the vault, will she be put back into the vault, or will Nardole be punished for releasing her out of the vault? I'm not too sure about that, but I thought Nardole, in a sense, was really good. I really liked how, in the beginning, he was very much cool, and he just took a more light approach. And although he didn't really take a full opportunity in the episode, unfortunately, as he had really nothing to do, I really liked him because I really liked how he was really panicky, and I really liked how he tried so many buttons and stuff, and he asked Missy for help in that sense. And so I thought Nardole in this episode, apart from other episodes, Nardole was good in this episode. Not amazing, not brilliant, but just good. I thought he was good. Only for those little scenes where he did, and he made I don't think he actually made a controversial decision. Or actually, I think he did. I think about the controversial decision. Was it between the Victorian soldiers or the Ice Warriors? Oh no, I think it was very much, should I let Missy out of the vaults? But if I do that, the Doctor's going to get pretty mad at me. So I was actually wrong about the controversial decision. So I think Nardole actually played a good part in this, and I think it was overall really good in my opinion. I thought Bill, in a sense, was really amazing, and she was really surprised that she found Victorian soldiers on Mars. It was a strange one on me, and how the Victorian soldiers got there in the first place, but I think it made sense overall in the episode, in my opinion, that they wanted to, they found Friday's spaceship, and then Friday brought them to Mars, see if they could find all the gems and jewels and stuff like that that they wanted, and it was almost going to be like their dream of finding all the gold and silver and gems and crystals. They were oh so happy to find all this stuff and valuables. And then Friday's task for finding his queen, his Empress. Overall, the female Ice Warrior was really amazing, and we saw a really great battle with them. Yeah, I think the battle sequence was really, really amazing. And I even liked where the Doctor was being like, you know, saluting the Ice Warriors, because I think he's so representative. He's very, very respectable for the Ice Warriors, and that the Doctor knows them of a race, and he's very, very respectable for the Ice Warriors. And I can see that he has so much pride and so much honour for these Ice Warriors by just, you know, doing that in a salute for the Ice Warriors. It's just classic of the Doctor. He makes peace with these Ice Warriors. He doesn't really want to go on their bad side. Although he comes to terms with these primitives, and like Casual would say, primitives! Yeah, he gets overreacted really, really quickly. But Casual doesn't know the whole power behind the Ice Warriors. He doesn't know how much power they have, and with an army like as millions and millions of Ice Warriors, maybe underneath the caves of Mars. And speaking of Mars, the CGI work of Mars is even better than the pyramid in the Lie of the Land. I thought the CGI work of Mars just looked amazing though. I really, really loved the CGI work of Mars. It just looked amazing. I thought the cave setting as well was really amazing. I think some of the time they filmed some of it in studio work, and then they filmed most of it in Bristol in some of their caves, which I really, really liked. I think it was very difficult to see if they can get the caves matching up with the ones in Bristol and the ones in the studio. And I thought it really went well with it. I thought the caves just looked amazing and really dark and really intriguing as well. So I really love caves, just going down into them and see what you can find. Or possibly the next time I go to a cave, I probably won't find an Ice Warrior there. So brilliant to get the Ice Warriors back in an episode, don't you think? It's only been their 6th episode for Doctor Who, and I feel like that, in my honest opinion, I think that the Empress of Mars has taken my #1 spot. To be honest with you, it was the Seeds of Death, but after talking about this episode for this review, I have to say now that the Empress of Mars is now my favourite Ice Warrior story by far. I mean, I like Curse of Peladon, I like the Seeds of Death, but this episode, I think it just nails it for me as the best Ice Warrior story. But will we get one for next series? We're not too sure. But for the moment, I'd say that this is my all-time favourite Ice Warrior story. And for my rating for this week for the Empress of Mars, I would have to say that it gives me great privilege to say that the Empress of Mars is my favourite episode from Series 10, and I would give it a 9.8 out of 10. The CGI work at the start could have been better, so that's one negative I have to say. And I thought that Castlov was a bit of an idiot, a bit of an arsehole, unfortunately. But overall, his character was absolutely amazing. And I just have to say, a 9.8 out of 10 is a great, overall fantastic rating for me. And I'm really intrigued for these last few episodes of Series 10. I mean, we're only very close to the end of Series 10. There's only just 3 more episodes until the series ends, and then there's the Christmas special, which we say goodbye to Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi, I don't want you to go. It's just like David Tennant with all those David Tennant fans. I don't want you to go. But everybody has its time, and when it comes to Christmas, I might have to do a really good video on Peter Capaldi's Doctor as a whole, probably after the Christmas special. But anyway, the Empress of Mars though is an absolutely fantastic episode. I overall fully enjoyed this episode. I thought the Ice Warriors were absolutely amazing, especially with the female Ice Warrior. She was just amazing. I'm really glad that she took value of Bill's opinion, woman to woman, and being surrounded by noisy males. I'm really glad that Gatiss took some right into that. The episode overall itself felt like a really similar plot to Doctor Who and the Silurians, where the humans invade Mars and they get on the wrong side with the Ice Warriors, and then the Ice Warriors fight back, and then it overall comes to an overall good conclusion of the Ice Warriors making peace with these soldiers, letting them go, and then the Colonel makes peace with the Ice Warriors and joins forces with them. And so that was a really great conclusion for this episode. And mentioning about the pre-title sequence when they saw God Save the Queen, and in the end the Doctor and Bill were kind of involved with the construction for that little message on Mars, God Save the Queen. I actually really like that. Basically they saw that on the surface of Mars, God Save the Queen, and I really liked how this episode took a more British approach. I thought that was a really great thing. And then when they went back in time to 1881 on Mars, they completely built this message for Alpha Centauri to see when they arrive on Mars to help out the Ice Warriors. Alpha Centauri though, when I heard that voice, I was thinking to myself, wait, I've heard his voice before, but I'm not too sure until I see the person for myself. I was thinking it could be Queen Victoria for a moment, but no, it was Alpha Centauri, which is just, oh my word, it sent classic Who fans right up the roof, and just, it made them go so hyper for what to expect. But the Alpha Centauri part was just one thing that I really liked, how it was such a great reference for Doctor Who fans, mainly for classic Who fans in particular, with Curse of Peladon and also with the monster of Peladon as well. Oh wow, I did not expect that coming. It was just amazing. I thought that the characters as well, Castlov, the Colonel, and even most of the other characters really had a great backstory, and it really developed their character a bit more. I really liked that. And I'm really happy for Gatiss, because I'm really so impressed with his work. The writing was just spot on for this episode, and also the direction was much better from Wayne Yip in this episode. Not Live from the Lie of the Land. This episode was way better on direction points. For Wayne Yip, you did a much better job, and I can forgive you for what you did for the Lie of the Land. But this episode, you did absolutely a brilliant job on this. But Gatiss has finally done his dream episode for Doctor Who, and I have to say, it's been a really great, successful episode for me. It's a 9.8 out of 10 for me. It's so fantastic. My favourite episode from Series 10 so far now, guys. Oh, 9 episodes in, 3 more to go, and then Series 10 is finally finished. But there is still more to come on my channel with more previews and reviews coming soon. But overall, the episode itself was just a joy to watch. Seeing the Ice Warriors back, the storyline was amazing. Very similar to Doctor Who and the Silurians. The Doctor was brilliant. I thought Bill was astounding with all the references to movies like The Terminator, The Thing, and Frozen from the Doctor. I really like those movie references, and it made the Doctor really connect to modern day movies. I really connected to us as a relatable thing for referencing movies and stuff. I really like that. And this episode also had a reference to Sleep No More. I'm not sure if it was a prequel or sequel to Sleep No More, but I'm not too sure. Nardole, unfortunately, didn't have much to do, but I thought he was good. And Missy, that little teaser at the end, I thought it was actually really good. And I think, overall, I think that's been Missy's best appearance so far, as that little teaser there. For the moment, she didn't really appear much, but I think for that little teaser, that's really made us think for what's to come next. And I'm really looking forward to the Eaters of Light. And we will have the first classic writer coming back to Series 10, Monarch Munro. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name right, but she did write Survival from the classic series. The last story from the classic series is returning back with her new episode for Series 10. This episode could go either way for me, and it involves Romans and much more. I see this episode as a really dark episode for me, but I'm overly looking forward for the Eaters of Light next week's episode. But don't worry guys, I'll hopefully have my preview up and ready for that when it comes. So anyway guys, thank you very much for watching for this review on the Empress of Mars. I hope you have enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like on this video, and also comment down below on what you thought of this episode. Make sure you get your full opinions in the comment section below, and make sure you do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So thank you very much guys for watching for this review, and I'll see you guys next time for my preview for the Eaters of Light. Gatiss, you absolutely delivered a absolutely brilliant episode. Gatiss, I have to say, big, massive, brilliant thank you for you. You did an absolutely amazing job, and it's now my favourite episode for Series 10 so far. Wow, what's more to come? But anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for the Eaters of Light. Bye for now.